Hello, welcome back. I gotta make this super quick. He-Man. I wasn't a big He-Man fan in the 80s. I swayed more like Transformers, G.I. Joe, the real Ghostbusters, Bugs Bunny, etc., etc. I really liked the classics. For a second, I thought I could hear myself, but no. And and I watched pretty much in one afternoon while I'm working and half listening, half watching the new He-Man stuff on Netflix. Everything Netflix touches, it just pretty much destroys. There's a lot of junk out there. For the most part, I just easily can say that. I will admit, okay, He-Man without He-Man. We did get to see him in an epic battle between him and Skeletor. I'm spoiling everything, guys. He dies. He dies early on, and he goes to the He-Man place in the sky. So where the part of the trailer where you see all the other He-Men with Adam, yeah, they're all there with him. So you do get to see that part of the mythos, which I have known nothing about. I liked the old cartoon. It was kind of campy. I liked Thundercats better. So, and I heard bad things about it before I saw it, and I thought, well, animation looks good. Everything so far seems okay. Let me just enjoy it for what it is, see where the plot goes, and go from there. And I enjoyed the plot for what it was. It was really the Masters of the Universe and Teela show, but you know, what can you do? Unfortunately, nobody liked her hair. I didn't like her hair. It seems to virtual signal something sexual, very obvious with modern tropes. We don't want that in our 80s cartoons. No, this is not an 80s cartoon, but it's supposed to be continuation of such. Yeah, and I know they did one about 10 years back or so, 06 or 08, and I couldn't watch that one either. And I hear they've just destroyed She-Ra, and I just refused to watch I was not a big She-Ra fan anyway. So there's that. But, and so I mean, I didn't just hate the new He-Man. I liked the plot. I liked what they did with it. There were some cringe-worthy moments. And then there's I forgot, Andra, who's tagging along with Teela. And then they pulled an Evangelion on us, and that there's like a certain space of time of gap from when, I almost said Shinji, when He-Man dies to the current ongoing plot, to figure out, you know, this is the land without He-Man, and it's just desolate and nasty, and nobody still likes each other, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, well, what do you do? Of course, if the world is in a mess because He-Man's gone. Duh. And Teela's all depressed, and everyone's depressed, and everyone's hurting, and so the only thing, so I just stayed with it. I watched it to the end. There were a few things I liked plot wise. Sometimes I liked the Andra character, sometimes I didn't. Orko got to have his sort of big moment. He was still kind of annoying, but drawn differently, and I liked how he was kind of drawn. Reminded me of Vivi from Final Fantasy IX, and he was probably even inspired by Orko from the 80s cartoon. But I'll just say that probably not anything I'm going to watch again. If they continue it, and that was the thing. Like I said, huge spoiler alert. They kill off He-Man. They get to and find what everything that they're doing, and I knew exactly that the old lady giving them the stuff to get them to find was the sorceress. I'm like, and she's reappearing and disappearing. I'm like, oh, I know who that is. Duh. It wasn't hard to figure out. And what really, really was confusing and just really stupid is they turned it into an ideological warfare between magic and science. So here's Teela, who hates magic, who is taking on bounties for finding artifacts. So magical artifacts, but she's against magic. She'd rather take the scientific route. In the meantime, she goes to Snake Mountain, Skeletor's old home, and to go in and get something, and they sneak in and do all this crap, and of course the whole time she's remembering working with He-Man or Adam, etc., one of the two, now that she knows the truth of He-Man's secret. So that was kind of interesting. But like I said, at the same time, how can I explain this? They go into Snake Mountain, and the bad guys have now turned into a cult of the extreme of the exact same thing that Teela is all about now. She's all about the science and no magic. Well, what are the bad guys doing? Hailing science and turning people into like the Borg. It was very Borg-like to me. I mean, talk about stealing from Star Trek. So I'm just like kind of half watching it. I'm like, oh, that's the Borg. Boy, that's not original, is it? And so she's getting on to the bad guys for their bad deeds and loving science in a cultish way, but yet she still hates magic. And I'm thinking, isn't that a little hypocritical in a way? I mean, yeah, they're messing up real people and turning them into monsters for the sake of science. And it's not exactly the same thing what Teela's doing, but Teela hates magic and she's hailing science, and the bad guys are hailing science. What's the difference there? And I'm thinking, okay, she might as well be one of the bad guys if she hates magic that much. And in order to save Eternia, they have to save magic, that which she hates. Does that make any sense? And so when they get the sword back together, which was interesting in its own, they travel the realms, they get He-Man sort of back to go back in time to that moment, like they said at the very beginning when the battle happened. Oh, if you can do this, you can only be one time, blah, 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 blah. Well, they do it all again to save He-Man. He-Man comes back with them. And then it's like he gets the sword and he turns back into He-Man. And the people from the He-Man heaven were like, if you go, you can't come back. Well, he goes back to die again. So if He-Man has died twice and now he's gone for good, he can't come back, Kevin Smith, according to your plot device already in place. So there's that which goes against itself. But that's my spin on He-Man. I probably won't watch it again. I'll probably watch the Transformer show when it comes out. I hear Megatron's voice is terrible. What happened to your voice? You know? Yes, no. That is not me. They have got an imposter. Primal. Slay them. I don't know. But we'll see you next time. If Netflix wants a ununionized voice actor, hey, call me up. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.